no family, there is no family that have not lost a loved one. So people are almost traumatized at different levels. And with this, the Hope and Healing Project that is being implemented by the Sisters of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus through the St. Joseph Oasis Center has been accompanying so many people. And one of the felt needs, the experience in the field, is the need to have people who can accompany our brothers and sisters who have been exposed, become wounded, and are now suffering from different types of mental health issues. It becomes very overwhelming for very few people in the field to journey with so many of our brothers and sisters who are experiencing this unfortunate situation. One of the things the Hope and Healing Project through the St. Joseph Oasis has been doing is to train trauma helpers, psychosocial technicians, psychosocial workers to journey and accompany some of the people who are going through mental health, which sounds strange, and the people who have only known about physical illnesses. And the center tried to train some persons who are available to go to the field and accompany these our brothers and sisters. In one of the sessions, so many people come from across the regions to be trained. Today, we shall be discussing the experiences of the trainees who are currently undergoing a 6-week training to become trauma helpers. Hi there, good people, and welcome to our program, Me and My Mental Health. I'm Singford Senior Msone Tata, your host. We shall be right back, and then we shall present to you our guests for the program, and they will be sharing their experiences. Stay tuned. Out of the 10 people who are currently undergoing training to become trauma helpers at St. Joseph Oasis, we selected 2 ladies and 1 gentleman for the program tonight, Me and My Mental Health. I'll begin from my left. You're welcome to the program, sister.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome.
Thank you, brother.
I will start from you. Can you tell us who you are and where you are coming from?
I am Brother Pascal Fomonyoy, a Capuchin brother of the Custody of Cameroon, and I am presently in Bamenda working in the Emmaus Outreach Center with the mentally sick. It is a home for mentally sick persons, and I've been there for 6 years, living and working with people with mental problems.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program, brother. And tell us a bit, introduce yourself, tell us where you're coming from, and also a little bit of what you have been doing.
Hello, viewers, and good evening again, brother. I'm Fomi Schneider. I'm a social worker with the organization Enlighten Youth Embassy. We carry out programs in the communities with respect to potentiality and mental health. So I'm very delighted to be here today and to share my experience with you.
We're happy to have you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sister, tell us your name, what you have been doing, and where you are coming from.
Hello viewers, my name is Sister Anastasia Ojo. I'm a sister of the Handmaids of the Holy Child Jesus. I'm a nurse working in Ghana, Ghana province. So I came for my holidays, so I heard of this program and I was so interested. So that's why I found myself there to encounter what is going on, and so far it's very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sister. You came all the way from Ghana. You are in our program. We're happy to have you. And let me begin by asking you. You say you heard the program and it's interesting. What is interesting in the program that attracted you to even abandon your holidays to go through this training?
First, I heard of the program. One of my sisters, Sister Rosemary, she's the one who told me about the program, and also I got to Sister Jackie and she told me about the program. So being here, the program is very, very enriching. I've gone through a lot with the crisis. Even before I went over there, the crisis had started. But with that, hearing about this program, it really, I was so interested, because you see, even when you move in the street, you see so many people who are mentally not stable. Working in the hospital, I encounter a lot of people who are mentally not stable. So it was like a challenge for me hearing about this program. It's a stepping stone for me to learn more about people who are mentally challenged, because it's going to help me in my practice in the hospital.
What are you doing your background? Are you a nurse?
Yes, I'm a nurse, a state registered nurse or a degree nurse, whatever you want to call it.
For how long have you been working in the hospital?
For over 7 years. In Ghana, I've worked for 3 years, and here in Cameroon, I've worked for 3 years. I also work in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sister.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, brother, what attracted you to this program?
Thank you very much. We, the Capuchin brothers in Cameroon, we have this apostolate in Bamenda, the Emmaus outreach, to take care of the mentally sick. We provided a home. As I said, we were giving to the mentally sick, those on the streets, a home to live in. They were coming there, they come there to sleep, they come there to eat, and then some come to take a shower and go back to the street. That's the best we have been giving to them. And when I heard about this program, sister herself, Sister Jackie, invited me to come and have some tips to better help those who are staying with us that we are helping. And for my few days here, I see that it is very, very enriching. We move the center of the Emmaus Outreach Center from just being a home to be a psychiatric center, where we can not only give them food, but we can see to it that their mental health can be restored. And this is also to the cry that many parents and many family members have been coming to me to the center with their family members, with their children who are involved in addiction, who have been paralyzed mentally because of other things, and I didn't understand. But now, with this training, I think I'll be better placed to understand what is really happening and to see how much help I can give to them. I'm very, very happy for this course.
Thank you very much. You mentioned that you have been running a home, an outreach for people with mental challenges, and you say they come take a bath and then they go back to the street. How do they do that? You go and bring some, or some will know that if you go here they can take care of you? How do you recruit, or how do you get those who are on the streets, or you call them those who are the mad people, to that place?
In fact, we don't call them mad people.
Yes.
Those in the center, we call them residents.
Yeah.
And just to give briefly how it started.
Yes.
It was all started by a missionary, Father Brian, who was in Bamenda. in that time, in the 90s. And so when he was transferred out of Bamenda town, because he was already taking care of these mentally sick persons, renting houses in town and keeping these people inside and giving them food. They were going there and eating and even passing the night, and then before going back to the street. That was all he was doing to them, giving them food and shelter. So when he was transferred out of the town of Bamenda, he went to the then Archbishop Paul Verdekov, at that time of blessed memory, who turned to the Capuchins, that time in Bamboo, in a formation house, and asked if we could take over the apostolate. And being
Franciscan
charism, taking care of the underprivileged, they rejected, like Francis, who in his time took care of the lepers. We saw that the mentally sick of our day are our own lepers. So we welcome that idea from the Archbishop, and we took over the apostolate from Father Brian, and from that time till now we have been running the Emmaus Outreach Center.
And you have been praying for them and giving them food. That's all you have been doing?
Yes, that's at most what we have been doing, giving them shelter, giving them food with little drugs, but they were not so much what I have seen now that mental health is all about. Really, it is really an eye-opening course for me to improve what is happening with us at the Emmaus Outreach Center. Not only giving food and shelter and little drugs, but giving them a holistic healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I turn to you, Schneider. What actually attracted you? Was it the first time for you hearing about that, or thinking about, giving psychosocial support beyond what you have been doing? You heard about this, what attracted you, or you have been searching for something like this?
Yeah, I developed a passion for psychology and therapy about 7 years back, and I really wanted to become a therapist. But back then I tried to find out whether there were schools that do it and all the like, and I realized that there were really no schools that train psychologists around me. But then with my passion, I said in my own way, I'm just going to be doing what I can do to help the people in the community. Attended trainings here and there, seminars here and there, to at least build my skills in the psychosocial work which I wanted to be doing, and counseling. So in the course of the work, since I work mostly with the adolescent young boys and girls, I realized that a lot of them had a lot of problems. They would come to me and confide in one thing or the other, and that fostered my love again and my desire to continue. So I happened to have a discussion with Father Innocent in Bamenda, and I shared my vision with him. I shared what I do in the field with him, and he is the one who directed me to Sister Jacqueline, who is training us now as trauma helpers. And that's how I found myself here, because I really have that passion. I feel like it's what I want to do. I want to be able to assist people to be mentally stable, to be mentally sane. So drawn by passion, and opportunity met the passion. I said, why not take it and make better use of this opportunity to improve on my skills and offer the services appropriately in the communities where I serve.
Thank you so much. I turn back to you, brother. You said you've been in the Emmaus Center for 6 years.
Exactly.
Let me ask, do you keep men and women? That is the first part. The second would be, was there a time that you took care of these residents and some of them just got well just with the normal care, simple care you are giving to them? You had that kind of experience?
Thank you, brother. When Father Brian started with this apostolate, where he was renting houses for men, he called it Emmaus Outreach Center. Where he was keeping women, he called it Bethlehem. Those houses, he was renting them around town. When we took over the apostolate from him, the numbers were increasing, and the problem of rentage was becoming a problem for us, because every year we had to double the rents. And so what did we do? We tried to construct a center for them. At that time, they were still missionaries. So we begged a government land at that time, and there we put a structure that brought together the men and the women. So they are all in one center, where there's a section for men and there's a section for women. And for what has been happening, many have gone back home already, healed with the little help that we have been giving them. And we realized that some of them who came there, they had just stressed in their lives, and when they come and see a calm place to sit there, and they sit there calmly and they revive themselves and they go back. And that was always our joy when we see one of them going back already ready to face life again in a different way. That has been always our joy. Many have gone back, and that is and from now we think we'll give more help after this training.
Thank you so much. Sister, what has been your learning experience for 2 weeks? This is the 3rd week finishing.
Yeah.
You actually learned something that you think that is useful, that when you will, if you were asked to go now, you can say, I've been equipped.
Yes, thank you once more. I've learned a lot, actually a lot, just for myself and for those I'm going to be working with. There were many things, like even when I did nursing, there were so many things that we learned that are connected to psychology and are connected to mental health conditions. But we were doing it in passing in nursing. But now it's like I'm doing it more detailedly, even though still not as detailed as it should be, because to really go into this course you have to do like maybe 6 months deeply. But even with these 6 weeks, it has really opened my eyes. There were so many things that I just knew just superficially, but now I can go deeper, and it has really helped me. When I see a situation now, I see somebody, I know how to manage that person. I know where to place that person because of the knowledge I've had. So in the hospital, it's going to help me a lot, because while in the hospital, when these clients come, after checking them and diagnosing them, we then refer them. If it is a mental case, we refer them to psychologists or to a psychiatric hospital. So now with the knowledge I've gained, that will facilitate my work. I'll be able to easily know where this person falls, where any client that comes in. So working with the doctors too, it can also help to facilitate their work. So it's being like really an eye-opener and a very big opportunity for me doing this course. I have learned a lot, and for the weeks that are remaining, I know I'm still going to learn even more. That will really help me in my practice.
Thank you so much, Sister. Schneider, I turn to you. Sister says an eye-opener. Has it been an eye-opener for you too?
Of course, it has been really an eye-opener. You know, like I said earlier, there is a lot that I used to do, but you probably just do because you've heard that when this happens, this is what you do. But the why aspect was missing in so many ways. Now with this training, we don't just know what to do, but we know why we are doing what we are doing. You understand that if I see somebody in the field, and based on maybe some examinations, I can identify, could this be trauma, could this be depression, could this be an anxiety disorder, I could at least pick out the symptoms and know exactly how to handle the person better than the general way I used to handle them before. And then there are some things also that we even used to do unconsciously, both right and wrong. But now, to a certain extent, I'm able to differentiate between what I did which was not right and what I have to do now which is right. I remember a couple of days in class, I was giving an example, and I was actually giving it with a lot of confidence. And Sister Jacqueline had to break it down and make me see everything that went wrong with what I did. And I was like, ignorance is really an issue here. So it's really been an eye-opener.
Now, brother, let me ask you this. You are a priest too. What qualities did you think that you possess that attract or made you a superior to appoint you to go to the Mayo Center? That's the first part of the question. I will answer your question too. And the second one is, what are some of the things that you have learned and look at from that knowledge? You look at some of the things you have taught, the judgment, or maybe done, and you feel, hey, this is not proper. This has been terrible. If had I known this, it would have been better.
Thank you, brother. I laughed before answering this question because, in fact, looking at myself, when I was sent to Emmaus Center in 2020, or the whole of my life, from the time I was ordained, from 2007, I have always been around the formation field. That has been what I've been doing. Formation from porcellancy to novitiate. I've been forming. And one time I was tired from formation, sorry, and I was sent to the Emmaus Center just to go and have a time of rest. Just because when I was a formator, sometime in Bamboo, I used to go to the Emmaus Center and be with the people for some days just to have a rest. And so when I asked that I should be given some time to rest from formation, I was sent to the Emmaus Center, not because I was skilled in any way, just because I love the place. So when I went there, I was functioning there mostly like a formator, forming young people into the religious life, and using that knowledge I had, and then helping the mentally sick. But with this course, I have seen that there is a difference from being a formator and being a mental or trauma helper. So this course is really opening my eyes and giving me that difference, and showing me what I've been doing for 6 years was really just trying my best. But now I'm going back with some skills, and one of the skills that I've taken in, I'm working on it so well, is the patient intake, form, and how I listen to the patient, try to get from the patient's a story,
their life experience.
Yes, and then listen to their stories and trying to get out from their story what is their problems are, and then identifying them and trying to help those problems handle them one by one, not and go as I've been doing, trying to identify the problem and trying to help them one by one. So this is, for me, is really a strong eye opener for me, as sister is saying.
Thank you so much. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll begin to find out some specific things that we have learned, and we will go home with, which we have learned so many things. There are some that we may appreciate them more. Let's take a break. Welcome back. The program is Me and My Mental Health, and we have our guests in the studio who are trainees to become trauma helpers from the St. Joseph Oasis Tico under the Hope and Healing Project in the ecclesiastical province of Bamenda. We turn to sister from Ghana, Sister Anastasia. Sister, let me ask you, most of the students who have come for that training, they always start by telling you, I discovered that I myself, I was traumatized, and this program has helped me to heal myself. What was your own discovery?
Well, I can say I'm not different from them because I have also been traumatized in so many ways. So this program is really helping me to go through my own trauma too, because I have to help myself first before I'm able to help those I'm working with. So it is for me first before I think of my patients, because as it is said, you can only give what you have, you can't give what you don't have. So by me learning how to manage myself when I'm traumatized, and it will also help me when I meet somebody, a client who is traumatized, how to help that client. So I'm gaining a lot of knowledge first to help myself, which is very, very important, and then with the knowledge I have, I'll be able to help others in the field.
Thank you so much, Schneider. When you look at society, community where you have been working, are there some of the things you say, hey, you regret why you acted this way? That if you had this knowledge, you would have acted differently. Are there such experiences?
Yes, there are a couple of them.
Can you share some with us?
All right. Which one do I think of first? All right, so there is this tendency always, especially when you don't understand the mental health of a person, that you are quick to maybe shout or get angry without understanding why the person acts the way he or she did. There's a case that came to me once, and it was a little girl of 17 years old who was sexually assaulted. And when she came, I asked her, when did this happen? And she said it happened about 2 weeks ago. I was almost getting mad. Why did you have to keep it for 2 weeks before you're coming to report? And it already changed my approach towards her, because I was already being judgmental, which is not something you should do, or it's not something you should display before a client. And then I'm trying to ask what happened, and I realized that she was not open enough to really explain what happened to her. Again, that was getting me pissed off. But for example, with what we've been learning lately, I understood now that if rapport is not well built, the client is not open enough to talk. I used to think that it's the client's problem, but now I realize that it's my problem. If the client is not open, I need to check my approach towards the client. So on many occasions like that, especially working with young people, you always find them very reserved, trying to keep information, and you need to learn how to build that rapport with them so that they can freely give you the information. You need to make them to trust you. You need to make them know that they can confide in you and share with you. Those are a lot of things that I used to miss out before, not intentionally. But with the little training that we've been having, it's not even little, it's a lot of training, of course. I began to realize that I was looking at it from the wrong angle. I was looking at it from my perspective instead of looking at it from the perspective of the person that I am intending to help. So those are just some of the things that brought conflict in the field, and I've had clarity on throughout this training.
Thank you so much. Brother, you mentioned at the beginning that you had a center, you provide food, shelter, and basic maybe medical assistance and needs for the residents of the MAO center, and you is a community of brothers who are journeying with these people, and most of them are not skilled. When you go back now, what are some of the things that you will quickly tell them that you have been doing, thinking that you are doing very well, and after this learning you have realized that no, this could have been the cause of this problem. We might have been adding these people their stress, their trauma, instead of there's some of those things that you can quickly mention.
Exactly, brother. When I will go back, I would not shout on anybody,
yes,
but I will try to help my brothers to realize that what we are doing is good, but we have to step it up.
yes,
Not saying as my friend Schneider is saying,
Yes.
not focusing but on ourselves, what we can do for them, but focusing on them, knowing that they are already wounded. Mentally, they are already wounded. Not only giving them food, but trying to listen to them. Giving them enough time to listen to them. And seeing that the help that we are able to give them comes from them, and not what we think we can do for them. Giving ample time to listen to them, even in their disordered way of talking. And also, as I'm here within these few weeks of training, I can start detecting and seeing the different persons we have in the center and seeing what they have. And already with this knowledge, when I go back now, I see that I will help them in this way. This is what they need. This is what help we can give to this particular person. Not giving them help as a group, but each individual has a particular help. I know now those who were always having all these hallucinations, I start understanding what it means and where they are coming from. I know those who do not sleep at night, who get up and they are talking and they are doing many things, I start understanding a bit. All these things I've been witnessing, and sometimes we are shouting on them, stop now, stop, sleep, not knowing that it is just their way of being. We have to understand them and live with them just in that way. So I'll go back with a lot. Thank you.
Was there a moment that you thought one of the residents would have been suffering from satanic influence or demonic possession?
Not only me thinking that, but most of the family members who bring their family members, children to the center, the first thing is we are bringing them to Father because they have a demonic problem. They have spirits are disturbing them. Not knowing that from now we'll tell them it's not spirit. It's not only a matter of trying to pray and do exorcism over them, but to try to understand that they have a mental problem and try to handle that mental problem, whether it is trauma, whether it's anxiety, whether it's schizophrenia. We try now to understand those differences and give the help necessary for a particular person, not giving again as a group of persons around us, the residents.
Thank you. Schneider, you have been in the community. When you interact with people who have relatives that could be suffering from mental health issues, what is your assessment of the correct knowledge of the family members? Do you think that so many people are not even aware of mental health? They don't even know about it, and they don't think that it is as serious as physical health. Do you have that kind of mindset with your interaction in the communities?
Mental health is so overrated in the Northwest region context.
Underrated or overrated?
Underrated.
Yeah.
So people don't even believe that mental health is an issue. Every parent believes that if a child acts this way, it's a bad child. Every parent believes that if this child is behaving off, it's a spiritual problem. People have derived methods, mechanisms, which are very inappropriate, and they are okay with it. So I think that, first of all, sensitization about mental health should be a priority in the Northwest region. They don't even know it exists, and that's the biggest problem now. Our biggest problem is not solving the mental health issue, but first of all, creating an awareness that they exist. Parents don't believe it, and that's what even frustrates the children the more. Families don't believe it. A child can be complaining of something over and over, and the parents think you're pretending, you're doing it too much, and it instead demoralizes the child the more. You see a child who is hyperactive, and the only thing the mother does is scold the child from minute to minute. She don't for here. They picking the over scatter place them. Now which kind picking this? They don't take time to understand that this child needs particular attention. So I realized generally that communities, families don't understand mental health. Mental health is not even understood in the Northwest region, if it's not too much to say. And I would really love to call upon all those who are in the field of mental health to join force together, and let's make the message of mental health known in the communities in Bamenda.
Sister Snyder said in the Northwest is underrated. Many people don't know. You're coming from Ghana. I'm sure that the knowledge there is higher. People know about mental health. Or is it the same scenario, the same experience?
Well, I could say it's the same experience, because most often, in fact, Africans, we are the same almost everywhere. Like what Schneider just said, when a parent sees a child behaving somehow, the first thing is either this child they think of witchcraft or spiritual issues. They don't think of mental health. It doesn't even cross their mind. So, but the only thing now is for us to create awareness, especially those of us who have gone through this course, we have learned things. So it is for us to create awareness, to sensitize the people, so that when they see children, or even sometimes people have been abused, that is because of witchcraft. But a person can be suffering from dementia, forgetting things, and they just conclude, most often will just conclude that is witchcraft. So it's because people are not knowledgeable. They don't know what is happening to these people. So the more they are aware and the more knowledge they gain, then we can then expand, because then many people will know what is actually mental health and how to behave towards these people. Most often we get angry when we meet situations like that. It's like, you are disturbing me, this person, I'm tired of taking care of this my client, I'm tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm so stressed up. But we forget that they too, they are going through a lot. At that moment, they are even out of their mind. They don't even know what is happening to them. So we should even have that empathy for them, because without that, we cannot really care for them. And that's one of the virtues we should have as trauma helpers, to empathize with those we are caring for. If not, you just see somebody and you treat them anyhow, which is not very good, and that listening ear will really help. So even in Ghana, even though we can say Ghana is more stable, but at the same time, they too, there's a lot of trauma going on there. People beating, sexual abuse, and all those things. Those are all traumatic issues. So everywhere, I can say there's the problem of mental health is really, and mental health is somehow like difficult sometimes to differentiate the various conditions. It really needs to take good understanding for you to really understand the conditions well, because the symptoms are almost the same. So if you don't know what actually differentiates one condition from another, it will be so difficult to diagnose them. So most often people are sick and we really don't go into detail to empathize with them, to put ourselves into their situations, to know how they feel, and in that way we'll be able to, we'll know how to take care of them.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Had you an experience of someone you thought was witchcraft disturbing him? After this training for a few days, I have to have a rethink. You had that kind of experience that, you know, you have judged this witchcraft, and then this training has made you to change your mind, that maybe you have a second look?
Yes, I have an experience. I can say our neighbor, one of our neighbor, this lady at one point, she was just moving around, talking anyhow. She doesn't even sleep. So everybody knew it was witchcraft. But
Plus you.
Plus myself, yeah. So until when I went to school to study nursing, when we were treating this, like I said before, we treat all these conditions but superficially. We don't go into details. So when we treated this dementia, and that's when I realized that, oh, this lady, she just suffered for nothing. because many people were like running away from her, neglecting her. Even the family was no more like even taking care of her, because everybody was exhausted. Because she'll get up in the morning, she'll just be moving around, moving to people's houses. So at one time the family just got exhausted. So I said, if they had known that this is an illness, I mean like a mental health condition, they wouldn't have treated her like that, because all they were attributing was that it's witchcraft. So now even studying it deeper, it has given me much more knowledge.
Insight.
Yes, insight into this condition. So I'm like, had I been even known, I knew at that time, it would have I also maybe I would have had something to put in for the family, like to tell the family this is not what you people are thinking, but it's because this person is suffering from dementia or another condition. So but since I didn't have the knowledge at that moment, also I couldn't like tell them what was happening. So but when I sit back and I think, I say to myself, I say, this lady really suffered a lot, because nobody understood her, nobody knew what was going on with her.
Thank you, sister. Brother, let me ask you, I know I've been asking you two questions. Let me ask one this time. Who can you recommend this program to when you go back? Can you recommend the program? And if you are recommending, who will you recommend this program to? And this is part A of one question. I will ask, do you think that we need trauma helpers in the Northwest and Southwest region?
When I go back, the first thing is to talk with my superior to see that many of our brothers, they have an idea of what mental health is all about. We have a strong apostolate which is in the Emmaus Outreach Center. I think this is an opening for us to give much of our time and help to the community by putting something very, very structural at the Emmaus Center to make awareness first of the problem of mental health in our society, and that trauma is really at this particular moment in which we are talking, there are many people who are traumatized. Not only people, we ourselves, all of us, we are traumatized in one way or the other. And if many of us, Capuchin brothers, enrolled in this program, will be of help first to our community, to our brotherhood, to our life as brothers, and then to the help we will give to the outer community. First, we need it. And the brothers, I would recommend that the brothers come more for this training, so that we give more help. And we really need it in the Northwest region, especially in Bamenda, where gunshots, we hear them every day. We hear about sudden deaths. You see in the morning, you see dead bodies lying everywhere in the quarters. People are shocked. Sometimes you just go in the plane in the morning and you tumble but on the corpse. Those are things that they are keeping. They give us memories that in the long run they will worry us a lot. So we need many more trauma helpers in the Northwest region, especially in Bamenda, where all these things are happening.
Thank you so much. Sandra, what are the things you have learned? You have learned so many things. What are those striking points?
The first very striking thing I learned, which was more like an emphasis, is the fact that you should not be too quick to diagnose. Don't be too quick to think that you've understood the person sitting in front of you. Don't make assumptions. You have to take time, do a proper intake, find out everything and anything about the person sitting in front of you, because every detail is important for the healing process of that person. Most of the times we are very in a hurry to just offer solutions and solutions and solutions, and you could end up offering the wrong solutions to the wrong problem. So the first thing I really learned was to take time intentionally to do a proper intake of your client, so that you are sure of the diagnosis you are making. The other thing I learned is that the psychosocial work or the work we are doing is teamwork. Nobody knows it all. Nobody is a specialist in all. Nobody can do all. You should learn to know when to refer. If you have a client in front of you and you know that you don't have the competency to handle that client, simply refer the client to some other colleague who you know has the competency. Those are very important ethical things which I learned during the training, which I believe everyone who is working in mental health should identify and should be able to hold on to. Again, I learned perspective, like I was already saying, that when you're sitting with a client, it's not about you any longer. It's about the client. And that's a mistake a lot of us make when we get into situations, and instead of trying to hear the client's point, you start giving your own. The client says, I just lost my mother. You say, I too lost my mother some time ago. And it becomes about you and not about the client. We need to learn how to manage that. Lastly, there are just a lot of things. But this one struck me also very particularly. It's not your job to go about telling people, I'm a trauma helper, I'm a therapist, come and sit down for counseling. No. People have to be willing and ready to go through the journey of healing.
Yes.
You can do your sensitization, and that's why I was encouraging that we need to emphasize more on sensitization of mental health. If we focus on sensitizing on it and making people know the importance of having a mental health condition, people themselves will see the need for healing, and they are the ones to prepare themselves and come to get that healing. Most of the times we get too carried emotionally in the field and we want to help everybody, and we end up doing the wrong things, and possibly we could cause more harm than good to the people we are intending to help. So those are just a couple of things which I've learned within these couple of weeks that have transformed my mindset and my way of thinking.
Thank you very much, Snyder. There's a question here for you, Brother Pascal. Greetings, Dmrtv. This is Breeze, a Miri student on pastoral year in Oku. Special greeting to Brother Pascal, my spiritual director. Just a question to you all. How do I talk about mental health to the uneducated people of Oku, where drinking of fighter, bullet, and these strong drinks is a solution to most issues? Just practical ways for me to put it in practice. All of you will contribute to help Breeze to talk to the people of Oku who have taken fighter and all those kind of doing as a way of solving their problems. Let me start with the Breeze spiritual director.
Special blessing. Greetings to you, Breeze. Thank you for following the program, and thank you for the question. It is a very, very, very pertinent question, and what we live every day. We see that most of our people, they just turn to these fighters as a way of handling their problems. They are not solving their problems, Breeze, but they are just postponing the problem. They are just trying to forget the problem, because that fighter only helps to blur your brain and your mind from thinking about the problem. And once that alcohol clears from your brain, the problem comes back.
Thank you very much, sister. Something to add to Breeze?
Yeah. Hello, Breeze.
Breeze.
Like Father just said, when you encounter people like that in the village, what you have to tell them, those things are really not good for their health. Like at the moment when they take it, it numbs them. They don't feel that pain any longer. But when the thing wears out, that's when they realize it comes back again. And at the same time, they are eager. They get too comfortable with the drink, and they want to go back to it because they feel so happy, so excited with that, because it numbs the pain they are feeling and they feel so good. So it's just to advise them, to tell them not to depend so much on that, because it's, instead of helping them, it's actually doing them harm.
Thank you, sister. Schneider, anything to add?
So, Breeze, good evening. Now, the mistake we always make is that we use the attack and defense on the people we are talking to. Your job is to take them through the process of discovery. If you just have to always go to them and say, this is not good, that is not good, this is not good, that is not good, they won't listen. But if you take time to journey with them through sensitive questions and make them give you the answer instead of you giving them the answer, it makes it easier for them to understand that what they are doing is harmful to them. So you need to be very sensitive, and you need to prepare when you're going out to meet them. You don't just see somebody sitting on the road and you think you can talk to them. Prepare. It's more like a mind play. That's why we're talking about the psyche, it's the brain. You need to work on the people's brain and bring them to the point where it's the person who will say, the alcohol or the drink are no fine. It's not you to tell them that it's not good, but it's you to journey with them to discover that what they are doing is not good. That way, when they discover by themselves, they keep it. But when you're the one who is imposing on them, you're just making noise, you're a nuisance. So try it this way. Don't use the attack and defense, but journey with them to the place of self-discovery.
Oh, thank you very much, Schneider, for that beautiful answer. All of you, Breeze, you have been enriched by these beautiful answers, inspired by your spiritual director. Thank you, Pascal. And as you heard Schneider saying, don't greet the beautiful people of Oku. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Point to them, the intelligence in them to bring out the solution by themselves. It will be quite better. Yes, sister. No, let me see. Let me turn back to Breeze, spiritual director. Yes. Yeah. Are they some other striking things that you have learned? She mentioned your own. Are they your own different from hers?
They may not be different from hers, but just to add, because we are learning quite a lot. I think before I went for this course, I almost did not go because I was telling myself I have no time, I have a lot of work in the Emmaus Outreach Center. How can I abandon the people and go and stay out for 6 weeks? And for long, I've never gone for holidays. So the first thing for me is that I've taken the time to rest and to refresh myself. And in refreshing myself, I've come to open myself. Last week we were talking about the different anxieties. At the end of the classes, I just told sister that I see myself after the diagnosis. I see that I have all the all the anxieties. So I need to start healing myself before healing others. So it is not only others' problem, it is my problem. I have discovered myself so much. I've discovered the pain that was in me. I've discovered the various anxieties that I had in me, and I have been in these days walking with them, walking with myself, trying to realize myself before I think by the end of this course I will be a better person and a different person as I'll be going back out because of this discovery. Then I'll be able to help others to realize themselves too.
Yeah, sister, let me ask you, what would be your last word to our viewers who have followed us in this program, with your sisters of the handmaids of the Holy Child Jesus, those in the province of Ghana and of course Cameroon?
Well, my last word to every listener this evening is that I recommend this program to you. If you have the opportunity to attend this program, it will be very enriching for you. And most especially to my sisters here in Cameroon, it is a very big opportunity, because while going through this program, every condition, as I'm mentioning, bringing out the symptoms, I find myself in each of them. And there's something very special I learned about anger that I didn't know before. That he has stages, that when something happens, that you get so angry. At that moment, you think that you are just reacting. But consciously or unconsciously, you are going through some stages that will help you. At the end, the response you give depends on how you have processed what you had in mind before you are responding, either negatively or positively. So it's a very, very enriching program. So I recommend it for everybody. Any person who has the opportunity should try to learn this program. Even if not this one, anytime you hear maybe online they're talking about mental health issues, I recommend that we should just try to listen and learn, because knowledge is never wasted. Anything that you learn will help you in one way or the other at any point in life.
Thank you so much, sister. You are recommending the program on TV, Me and My Mental Health. We're also on YouTube. The program is also on radio, in Radio Evangelum Mamfe, Radio Evangelum Bamenda, Radio Evangelum Kumbu, and Radio Evangelum in Kumba. Schneider, Breeze has expressed gratitude for the beautiful answers, and say he has learned, he has written down everything carefully, and as from tomorrow he will start making friendship with those guys so that he be a rapport, and then he begin to let them propose the solution themselves. He will discuss with them, they will see the problem themselves, be creative enough to, so you continue to guide Breeze, let him do the right thing. Yeah, Asusna, what's your last words to our viewers?
Okay, my last words to my viewers, to our viewers. First of all, your mental health is as important as your physical health. The same way you go to the hospital from time to time to check on malaria, BP and all the like, should be the same way you should visit a psychologist to check on your mental health. Is very important. For all other people who work on mental health in the field, I want to say kudos, and I want to encourage that we keep doing the work and we keep helping and saving people. Lastly, I would like to encourage all the social workers, Hencho and all the like, who are doing already an incredible work in Bamenda with respect to mental health. Please come for this training. From colleague to colleague, I know how much is going to impact you. I know how much is going to change your mind. So I'm sure that when the next training is being announced, you're going to be part of this and be as transformed as I am right now.
Thank you so much. Breeze has added something here. Someone is bold enough to tell you that, brother, if I drink, I could die. If I not drink, I could also die. So better man drink before he die. So, brother, what are your last words to our viewers and to Breeze?
My last word to our viewers and to Breeze is that even we who are not drinking, we know we will also die, but it's good to die a death that is worthy, not a death that is miserable, not a death that it seems you kill yourself or you are frustrated with life. Die a death that people will bury with dignity, not burying you and being even angry about what has happened. No, we know all of us will die, but we should not kill ourselves. We should not kill ourselves. Please tell them we should not kill ourselves. And my last word is a great word of thanks, especially to those who have initiated this program and this course for trauma helpers. I think it is really timely for our province in this crisis moment that we are living. This course, I really recommend it for any person who really wants to help himself or herself and to give himself or herself to help others. So it is a word of thanks to this to those who have organized it and those who are running the program. I think I cannot lack words to say thank you. I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy.
Thank you so much for your enriching sharing. It's been wonderful. I can see you are loaded with knowledge. When you go, the sky will just be the beginning for all of you. And we express gratitude to the proprietor of Dmrtv, the Bishop of Boya, the Most Reverend Michael Bibi, who had made it possible that people can watch this program even in Ghana, all over the world, because we are on satellite, and Dmrtv is always ready for me and my mental health every Wednesday from 9 to 10 p.m. And with that, we say goodbye from this end. Accept warm greetings from Mount Fako, where Dmrtv is reaching you on radio, on television, on our social media handles. My name is Sinfred Senior Msone Tata, saying goodbye from this end. God bless you.